Imagine a world plunged into chaos, destruction, and despair. Can we envisage a third world war? It's a term that's been in our lexicon since 1941. World War III, as it's often called, conjures images of nuclear warfare, a symbol etched deep in our collective consciousness. This hypothetical global conflict, escalating beyond the scope and impact of its predecessors, is a truly sobering prospect. The potential for a conflict surpassing previous world wars in scope and impact is a chilling thought. How did we arrive at this precipice of potential global conflict, you may ask? Let's take a walk down the memory lane of global tensions. In the aftermath of World War I, the world was in shambles, but there was hope. It was dubbed the war to end all wars, a conflict so devastating that surely humanity would never allow such a catastrophe again. But the hope was short-lived. 2 decades later, the world was plunged into World War II, a conflict that surpassed its predecessor in both scope and destructive impact. With the end of World War II came a new era, the Cold War. It was a time of intense ideological conflict, but more importantly, it was a time of nuclear proliferation. The world had witnessed the destructive power of atomic bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and now more countries sought to possess this terrifying power. The potential for a third world war increased, and it was expected to be a nuclear one. Military and civil personnel around the world braced for the possibility of another global conflict. From conventional warfare to limited or total nuclear warfare, all scenarios were considered. Amidst these tensions, a doctrine took shape: mutually assured destruction, or MAD. It posited that a full-scale nuclear war would lead to the annihilation of all warring states, essentially making war a zero-sum game. The threat of absolute destruction, paradoxically, may have kept the world from hurtling into another global war. The 21st century has seen its share of conflicts. Could any of these be the spark that ignites World War III? War has a way of changing the world, and the 21st century has not been a stranger to this. The Syrian civil war, which began in 2011, has been a source of global concern, with the displacement of millions and the involvement of several global powers. Then, there's the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Since 2022, this conflict has seen the world's largest country flexing its military might against its neighbor, causing widespread alarm and international tension. The Israel-Hamas war, which has been ongoing since 2023, has added another layer of complexity to the already volatile Middle East situation. The conflict, characterized by intermittent outbreaks of violence, has the potential to draw in other nations, escalating the situation to a global scale. And let's not forget the rising tensions between the United States and China. As two of the world's superpowers, their ongoing disputes over trade, technology, and territory have the potential to ripple across the globe. Their rivalry has been dubbed by some as the new Cold War, a term that harks back to a time of nuclear standoffs and the threat of global annihilation. Each of these conflicts has its own unique complexities, but they all share one thing in common: the potential to escalate into something much larger, something that could potentially engulf the entire world in war. These conflicts and tensions are potential flashpoints for a third world war. The specter of a third world war looms large over our world today. We've delved into the historical progression of global tensions, from the aftershocks of the first 2 world wars to the escalating conflicts of the 21st century. We've examined the current state of affairs marked by rising tensions and the potential for devastating nuclear or biological warfare. While the prospect of a third world war is a terrifying one, understanding our past and present can help us navigate our future.